So I'm an assistant merchandiser, so I work alongside a buying team. I knew I didn't want to go to university. I wanted to just get out and work straight away.
What was the thing that you most enjoyed or surprised you when you came in to Next?
One of the biggest things I know now is the retention of Next is massive, and for a reason. So a lot of the people I was working with originally on that team 8 years ago are still here.
It does employ a lot of people in the local area,
Yeah.
Whether it's at the head office, whether it's at our contact centres in the various places.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of people that, like you've said, they come to Next and then they build a life as well.
They stay.
What's that motivation that's keeping you going?
There's a lot, to be honest, and I think it tells because the amount that Next can offer you is just massive. Like all the benefits that you get, the people here are all amazing. That's really rewarding, and I've had that throughout my 8 years here. When you go into all those sign-off meetings and proving why you are good at what you do. So it's all about that striving for better.
So you work in our branded team.
Yes.
So just explain that to people. What is that? Because I think there's still people that maybe aren't even aware that we do that, right?
There is, yeah. So the branded team, I think it started roughly 10 years ago, from a really small team, and we sell now over 1,000 brands online.
Mental.
Which is, nuts. Yeah. And so I'm part of the technical sports and outdoor team, which looks after brands such as Mountain Warehouse, Regatta, Dare to Be, North Face.
Oh, okay.
So good mixture of outdoor, brands like that. But yeah, I think when I speak to like family members and they ask me what I do and they say, "Oh, I didn't know that Next sold brands." I thought the branded business is so big. Imagine if everybody knew that Next sell brands. Like I think it would massively take off. Even more than it has now. Not that it hasn't.
No, even more than it has now. And what's your role in that then? Because I guess, is branded's like it's part of our product area, isn't it? Yeah. But I guess it's slightly different. But what's your role?
So I'm an assistant merchandiser. So I work alongside a buying team, and we essentially go to the brands, view the product. So we don't do any of the own brand stuff where they obviously go through the product life cycle from start to finish. The brand does that for us. We then go to them, look at what we like. We base it on previous bestsellers or the trends that we're getting from our trend forecaster and the buyers when they go to shows and things like that. So then we choose whilst we're there, what we want to sell on Next.
Got you. So that's the fundamental difference then, that bit at the start then.
Yeah.
Like they've done all of that. It's just working with them on picking the range for Next.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so I'd say the most exciting thing that I've come to learn recently is with certain brands, we are able to have a bit more of an influence on what they do. So say if they had a certain product where it sold really well for us last year, they're doing it again this year, but they've selected a certain amount of colorways based on previous year. If we're seeing a trend, for example, in leopard or animal, which is constantly here, never going away, if they haven't done it in that and we say, could you do us one in that, either exclusively for us or, you can then do it for your wider business. In some of the brands I'm working with now, they are starting to take our feedback on board and they will do it for us. And I think we've had a few successes in previous years, and definitely the first round that I've done on this team this year, we've had a lot more influence on the range. So it's really exciting going forward.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've not heard anyone from the branded team say that before. So it's almost like they're using us as a bit of like market insight to inform. To inform them, but hey, look.
Exactly. I mean, they might as well. Obviously, all the brands are successful in their own right. Next is the giant that it is. They might, if we can offer expertise in where we want and opinions, they might as well take it, and they are doing.
And for a lot of people, so to be clear, it's not like we don't sell a lot of these brands, or hardly any do we in store. This is all like an online-based business.
It's very minimal in stores. I think just from a logistic point of view, and obviously we sell our own brand in stores, and I think from my point of view, I think it would be great to have a branded store. So that would just sell, our top branded stuff from whoever is willing to put it in there. Doesn't exist at the minute. Haven't put the idea forward yet, but
you have now.
I have now, yeah. So
you have now.
Can I copyright that?
Yeah, definitely. It's a good idea actually though, because there's other there's other shops and establishments that do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And people are coming back to retail more and more, looking for that like experience.
Yeah, well, we're still opening stores, and our stores are still profitable.
Yeah.
So which is quite rare, I would say.
Yeah.
With a lot of other companies struggling. So from our point of view, yeah, it could be a route to go down.
Yeah, I like that idea. Copyrighted right here. So you said as well right at the start, didn't you, that you didn't, you started on Next and you came in. So how did you come to Next, and why did you come to Next in the first place?
So I came to Next because I didn't go to university.
Okay.
Which, a lot of people are sort of surprised at when I say. But so I didn't go to university, and so when I left college, I did, a range of different jobs because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I knew I didn't want to go to university. I wanted to just get out and work straight away. So I did a range of things like working in retail stores. I did warehousing jobs. And it was just someone I knew at the time who worked for Next said, oh, they do a trainee program for buyers or merchandisers, things like that. So I had initially applied for a warehouse job at Next, didn't get it, which I had previous experience in.
Oh, right.
Then applied for a trainee merch role, went through the extensive sort of procedure at the time, which was, I had to video myself and send that through, which was, quite fun to do actually. Went through the trainee merch academy, where they get a lot of you together and they, test your skills essentially. Did the interview, and then here I am.
Wicked.
8 years later, well, 7 and a bit years later.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Wow. What a journey then, like.
Yeah.
And what's the difference, do you reckon, between main range and branded? What's the two differences there?
There's a lot of differences. Even option count, on own brand, you're working for a very specific area. So I started on girls wear. I was on woven dresses at first, I believe. Then moved to jersey, like lightweight jersey. So you're working on specific, like lightweight t-shirts with prints on and things like that, or lightweight dresses. On branded, if you work with a brand, you do generally everything for that brand. So all genders, all product types. And we generally don't work with just one brand. I think I work with about 14 different brands at the minute, and then you do all genders, all product groups for all of those brands.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. So you probably, is it more like, do you go into the more like project management area and skills with the branded stuff there? I
would say so. It's kind of like being an account manager for them, because a lot of it is on that relationship with them, and what you can get out of them and what also they can get out of you. So from that aspect, it is definitely that. Obviously, the product thing, they have a lot more control over what they do product-wise. I mentioned that, we're having a bit more influence. But on own brand, it is obviously, we work with the buyers and the design team, and we create the product from scratch going up, whereas on branded, it's more selected.
Yeah. But you're still using those skills that you developed from the trainee days.
Yeah, definitely.
As well.
Yeah.
And what was the thing that you most enjoyed or surprised you when you came in to Next?
To be honest, it was the first time I'd been in an office-based environment of like this stature. So for a first office-based environment, it's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
I really liked everything about it. Just the people who initially, the team I was on, were amazing. And I think one of the biggest things I know now is the retention of Next is massive, and for a reason. So a lot of the people I was working with originally on that team 8 years ago are still here in the business, either on different teams or have worked their way up throughout those teams. And I think it tells, because the amount that Next can offer you is just massive. Like, all the benefits that you get, the people here are all amazing. And I think that was the biggest thing that I noticed immediately, was just everything about it.
Just his setup.
Yeah, just the whole setup. Everything's done for a reason. It is obviously this corporate giant, but it also feels like a kind of like a family. Not to be cliche.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I think some of the ways that like me, when I speak to people in my team as well, that's got that I think you think you're going to come in and you're just going to come in, do what's required and be done. And there's not going to be any, shall we try this? So it's still got that startup mentality, even from the conversation we're having, right at the start of, oh, I think we should do this. You're saying that and talking about that, and that's the norm.
Looking at moving forward constantly.
Yeah, constantly.
What's next?
Yeah, exactly. What's next? How do we take it on? How do we build? How do we grow?
Yeah.
This isn't like a one-off. It's like once you've been here a while, everyone starts getting into that pattern of like, oh, okay, this is what they're about and why they keep evolving and why they're so successful.
Yeah, it's not as if you do something and then you think, oh, I've done it now, so I can sit there.
And just do that.
You're constantly moving about. Or, trying to, like we say, do what's the next thing that we can do that makes this all better. And I think something Next is good at is when you they make you know that you are contributing to the wider business and the success of the wider business. So everything you do feels like it has a purpose.
I bet I would imagine that's more so even your area, because it's like, these are my lines.
Yeah.
These are the sales.
Yeah.
That's the impact.
Yeah, we can quantify it in the numbers. We see it on the screen. Like if that is amazing, I planned that, and can we get more of it? Yes, we can. I am doing that, and that contributes.
What is the toughest part of merchandising in your area at the moment? Then is that one of them, of the forecast element, or?
I guess so, because it's all obviously based on trend, and it is a guesstimate at the end of the day, but we have such an array of tools at our disposal to get that guesstimate as right as possible. And actually, I'd say a challenge that we are all being given is to push newness in the range and not be so reliant on the bestsellers that have been previous bestsellers. So that's one of the hardest things as a merchandiser who looks at the history and thinks, I know that is good, so I want all of that again.
Yeah.
But from a buying point of view and from the up above, we are being challenged to, yes, still buy that, but maybe not as much, and push the newer colours, the newer styles, things like that.
What are some of the new, for spring, summer, what are some of the new colours, styles, trends and stuff? It
honestly completely changes each season. So we've just done autumn winter buys. A lot of it is in dark chocolates. We've gone into animal print massively just because we've seen it, and say if we've had a previous bestseller on animal, we will then put that on a new style. So if a brand has come out with a new coat that they're pulling through, or a new changing robe, things like that, we will then implement that on those.
So it's just all about going back to what you said right at the start, just working with that brand and doing
definitely.
the best. And how and there you said it's about getting that balance with the newness, and that's with the buyer. What's the relationship like in the branded world between buying and merchandising? How does that function?
It's really cohesive. You are constantly working. I mean, the way that our desks are set up, we're always facing our counterpart. So, you're never more than a hello away from them. And it's so cohesive because you have to be on the same page. And even if you're not necessarily on the same page, it is about that understanding of as a merchandiser, I know why I want to go for some historic things and push the newness this little bit. It is the buyer's job to come in and say, this is the absolute hottest thing we need to buy right now. Put money on it. And it's just all about that, the balance.
Do you have those healthy conflict moments?
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
Where it's you won't back down, they won't back down.
Yeah. But you always come to a conclusion, and it's just about bragging rights at the end of the day. Who's right? I'm joking.
Let the sales speak.
Exactly.
Let the sales speak.
Yeah, but you've all got the same goal. So
yeah. I guess that's it, isn't it? I think it's quite easy, whatever role you do or whatever job you do, to get stuck in your world and what you want.
Yeah.
But sometimes you either just got to lift your head up or just sit back and go, okay, what's that person saying, or what's that data saying?
Yeah.
And and from there make a better decision.
Yeah.
It might just reinforce what you're thinking. Or,
Yeah, definitely.
Or it must be harder though when it's something new, for example, and it is a trend, and it's like that's the risk we've got to take.
And it is the risk, and it's all like we have elements that we do that to de-risk those situations. But the newness is what we're seeing in our bestsellers, week to week. So it is just about taking that leap and taking the risk.
And what's motivated you to keep coming here after, because like you said, first office environment, and then you're like, right, I'm here. Like, what's that motivation that's keeping you going?
There's a lot, to be honest. Just the way that the business is, again, cliche, but the days aren't the same. You're constantly striving to be better, whether it's from a sales point of view. We're growing brands, as quickly as we can, as efficiently as we can. And it's exciting when you're going to a brand and you're, seeing all the exciting newness that comes in. You then take it back, and it's your job to then convince your managers, this is the budget that we want to go for. These are the styles we want to go for. And it's when you convince them and they say, yep, signed off, that's really rewarding. And, I've had that throughout my 8 years here, when you go into all those sign-off meetings, and it's just about proving a point not proving a point, sorry. It's about, proving why you are good at what you do. So it's all about that striving for better constantly. Again, the people, there's a lot of social things outside of Next that I do with people that I've met within Next. So play football on Sundays with somebody who I met through Next. They run a lot of football games playing other companies, so like Gymshark and Georgia Asda.
Oh, really?
Like that. Yeah. They did a game against the Warehouse at St George's Park.
Yeah, I remember that,
which was amazing. I played at St George's Park, like where England train and play. So that was really good. And then just all the benefits that Next has to offer. The company's constantly going up at the minute, and it's just one of those places to be, I think, right now. And that's what's kept me. My head's telling me the share safe.
It's good, isn't it? It's a win-win, man. It's a win-win.
It is.
It's a win-win.
You can't beat it.
It's a win-win.
One I've been using is the gym membership. I think they have a partnership with Wellhub.
Yeah.
So you get cheaper gyms.
And anywhere as well.
And anywhere.
Anywhere
so it doesn't
well.
restrict you to a certain place. So that's one that I use, day to day. That's a really fun one.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. I've used Wellhub a lot actually, and it's good that pay for your banding, and it's like, right, what gyms? And even if like you're working away, there's gyms there.
Yeah,
and, it's kind of takes out the excuse. You've got to go. And it's cheaper. It's a really, really good benefit, to be fair. It's a really good benefit. And if there's kind of like, if there was people listening to this, like in your position where they're thinking, I'm not going to go to uni, I want a job. This sounds dead interesting. What sort of advice would you pass on to them?
I would pass on advice to do it, apply, get yourself within Next. Because even if you get yourself in as a trainee merchandiser, a trainee buyer, designer, these are just the areas I know. There's so much more within Next that you can do. So even if you're doing and being merchandiser for, a year, however many years, and you think, oh, it's not necessarily for me, even if that's the case, there's so many other places within Next to go, different avenues. And I think that Next is just the company to be at. So, yeah, I would apply. That's my advice. Take the leap.
Take the leap.
Yeah,
I like that. You've said that a couple of times as well there, whereby, Next is the place to be, or that. Like, what does the brand mean to you? Not like the benefits and the people, but what's the like brand impression to you?
Well, it's the biggest retailer in the UK. It's turned over $1 billion in profit. The last 2 years. I think it's just when I say that I work for Next, particularly being from Leicester, I don't think you're ever 100 meters from somebody who doesn't work for Next.
That's so true.
I mean, I live in the city centre, which I think you do as well, because I've seen you around a few times. And I think it's just Next as a, when you say, oh, I work for Next at the head office, they go, oh, and then they hear it's in Enderby and they think, oh, why is it in Enderby?
Yeah.
But you know, the brand is doing so well, and everybody knows it's doing so well. So I'm really proud to work for Next.
Yeah, I'd agree. And on that Enderby point, it is weird because if you're from the area, people are like, why is it there? Because Enderby is very small.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a, it
is,
village, very, I'd just say largish village, if that.
Yeah.
So it's village start, and then you've got this huge campus at the end of it.
Biggest retailer.
Yeah.
Just sat there.
Biggest retailer just knocking around in like at the end of this village on this massive campus.
Yeah.
But I agree with the Leicester thing. It does employ a lot of people in the local area, whether it's at the head office, whether it's at our contact centres in the various places.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of people that, like you've said, they come to Next and then they build a life as well.
They stay. Yeah. They generally stay.
Like from all, like, we've had people from like Glasgow, we've had people like move out of London to Next.
Yeah.
And I think because where it's situated as well, you can build that life and you can get to other parts of the country quite easily as well.
Yeah.
Like definitely from a head office point of view.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally see it. I totally agree. And that sense of pride, I hear that all the time. I think even if people don't say it, you're like, oh, there's a proudness to what they're believing in and what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
And then that comes through in the work and, the day-to-day jobs and it's great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, mate.
No, thank you.
No.
Yeah, I'd love to be on a podcast. So this is great.
No, it's been great. And like we were talking about at the start, I think before we started recording, to go, like you said, you reminded me, like, we were doing all of this and like it all started where I was just taking photos.
It was so smart. Like I think it was just you on the social media team, right?
Yeah. So it started, just me snapping away, doing it now.
My picture on my Gmail is still one of the photos that you took.
Really?
So I should probably update that.
Yeah.
At some
Definitely,
point.
mate. Definitely.
Yeah.
But no, thanks for coming on the Life and Next podcast.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.